YouTube, Beef Smokehouse back here with you, and today doing a simple pork butt. There's nothing special about this pork butt. This is commodity pork. Bought it at my local grocery store. The pork butt. It's got a lot of fat, a lot of collagen, a lot of meat. Can feed a big crowd. I just took this out of the package. This is about 6.25 pounds. It's gonna take some time to cook. I'm not gonna hit it with any binder. Doesn't need it. It's still very, very moist. So first thing we're gonna go down with is 16 mesh black pepper. Real easy cook. I haven't been on my smoker in a while now, so this is gonna help me get my my fire management skills back up to par. It's been very cold. I took a road trip, went on into Arkansas, and was able to pick up some wood from some of my brothers I served with. Had a good time and came on back. Get this glove on. I've got a fire going. Today we're going to be using a bit of that Arkansas hickory and some cherry. I might sprinkle in some oak, but this is a pork butt. Season it up, it can take it. It can take a lot of seasoning. We're gonna stay quite simple with the seasonings, but it can take a lot of it. This Lawry's. Get it on there. And cover that up with this nice seasoned salt. That's going to be about it. I'm going to get this rub off my counter. I don't like wasting nothing. This is going to sit here for the next 20 to 30 minutes. I'm going to go check on my fire, and I'll bring you guys along as I get ready to throw this on. Stay tuned. Alright, pork butt has been sitting here for about 30 minutes. I like what it's looking like. We have to give time for that salt to activate. That's, you know, seasoned salt to your table salt to kosher salt. Highly important. You see how this looks moist? That's what you want. That's how we know that salt is activated. This will be going on here in the next 5 to 10 minutes. I'm waiting on my coal bed to render down and give me some nice coals. I started this fire using some nice cherry wood, some nice hickory splits as well. I just put the pork butt on. I'm going bone side towards the fire. We're going to use that bone as an insulator. One of the main reasons why pork butt makes a good first cook for those newer pitmasters, those newer cooks trying to excel, is because it's very forgiving. We're going to let that bone do the work of insulation, and if you overcook it, guess what? You can pull it, add some moisture to it, put it in a crock pot, you're still good to go. If you undercook it, you can simply wrap it up, put it in your oven, and let it finish off. Real simple. Now, for this cook, we're not rolling with any moisture in the pan. You see that fire down there? Let's come around. I've got a split of oak here, setting pre-warming. Alright? So, this is my initial fire. I went again with some hickory and some cherry to give me some nice coals. This is burning down. I want to take advantage of the smoke this initial startup fire is putting off, so we can go ahead and start building this bark quite early on. Now, So I've got some nice hickory over here with some nice cherry. It's kind of sprinkled in throughout. And then these are those boxes of wood that I've had. This is post oak, this is cherry, and some of this is hickory I've broken down. Right? So we're going to go ahead and get this closed. And we're going to start cooking. Real easy cook. I'll bring you guys back in the next 2 or 3 hours. Stay tuned. Alright, we're at about 3 hours in. I'm not going to make any major modifications. You see we got this nice mahogany red that's coming from the combination of hickory and cherry. I have been alternating also a piece of post oak. I really like the way this wood smells. We're going to keep on cooking. I am trying to get this thing deep and dark, right? We're going to give it a nice spritz. I have not been spraying the fat, so we're going to come give it a nice spritz on all the meat that I see. Trying to make sure we keep things moist. Other than that, we're going to keep rolling. The temp we've been rolling today has been in between 250 and 275. Again, I mentioned that the pork butts are highly forgiving. We can cook at really high temperatures and still get a nice, unctuous, juicy product. Stay tuned. Alright, we're now approaching hour 8. I like the color and the bark that I was able to attain. I want to show you guys something. You know, many people were doing pork butts. Again, a simple cook by all means. But look at this. So this is the fat cap. See that fat cap giving? The way that it's giving? That's kind of what you want. However, this thing still needs some time to get tender. So I'm filling even through that fat. Once I get through the fat, that meat is still kind of tough, right? So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and wrap. I want to caution people, you know, wrapping too early. I will be using fall today. I don't want to be out here all night. That's why I'm not using butcher paper. I'll get another log on the fire, and then we're gonna go ahead and push this thing through the stall. I temped it about an hour ago, so it was in the deepest part of me about 169, 170, 175. We're gonna let it ride. I figure with the wrap we got another hour or two, and we should be ready to go. Stay tuned. All right, I got this pork butt down on my foil paper. Let me set you guys down, get this wrapped up, and get it back out for the next hour or two, and then we'll start probing for tenderness. All right, it's one of the easier cooks I've done. We're gonna wrap it up again. We still got some rendering to do. That top fat is already started to render. All right, it is. I can push through it with my fingers. And this is the point that I'm going to go ahead and wrap it. So I say we still got another hour, hour and a half, max 2 hours to get this tender. I'm going to bump up temps. I've been staying in between 250 and 275 in my smoker. I'm going to bump it up between 275 and 300. And then we're going to go ahead and get this finished. I'll let it rest, and then I'll bring you guys back. It smells phenomenal already. That hickory and that cherry that I've gotten from Arkansas when I went to meet some of my brothers is phenomenal. I'll bring you guys back when I start probing for tenderness. Stay tuned. Alright, here's our finished product. So this 6.25 pound pork butt took right at 10 hours. I just pulled it off. I've got it resting right now. I want the steam to come up off of it. I'll cover it lightly and then get it back into a warm oven. I've got to run to the store and grab a few things. Again, this took a bit longer than I thought it would. You think 6 pounds for a pork roast, a pork butt, you think it's going to be 8-9 hours. For the most part of this cook, I ran a fire between 250 and 275, making sure we got some good color. And then that last hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, I pushed temps between 275 and 300. I like the color, I like the bark. Now, I debated whether I was going to wrap this or not. However, I don't have much light left. And then it would have sucked trying to get you guys to see what's actually happening. I like the bark as it sets. I can tell you this fat, I've already pressed through it when I was pulling off the pit. It's going to sit here and cool for the next 15-20 minutes. I'm going to tint it and then get into my oven. It was set to 170. I'm roasting some peppers.
Other than that, I'll bring you guys back when I'm getting ready to put a sandwich together. Stay tuned. Alright, we are back with the finished product. This has been sitting in my oven at 170 for the last hour and a half. Gloving up because I know it's still rather warm. However, I know it's tender. I can see some of these pockets where this fat then already broke down and busted. It's what you want. Love the color, right? Now, I don't intend on shredding this all tonight, so I'm just going to get me some off of here and make my sandwiches with them. Get this other glove on so we can get down to the business. Now, this is one of the easier cooks in barbecue, and by easy, I don't mean doing much. So let's recap what we did and show you how easy this was. Longest thing we had to do for this particular pork butt is weight, right? So 6.25 pound pork butt. I seasoned with Lawry seasoned salt, 16 mesh black pepper. I let it set out. I let that salt get to work on the meat. When I came back, this whole thing looked like it was wet. That's what you want. You want that salt to activate. I then, afterwards, got this onto my smoker running 250, between 250 and 275. Afterwards, the first 3 hours, I did not spritz. When I came and I did the scratch test, I scratched the bark stayed, so I started spritzing. I spritz with a combination of 50% water and 50% cherry vinegar, right? That helped us get some color early on in the cook. For this cook, I used a combination of some wild cherry that was given to me on a trip that I just came off of for the holiday, and I used some hickory. I feathered in a few splits that I had on hand of post oak, right? Hour 8, I actually wrap using foil. I'm a big fan of using paper, however the paper would have taken much longer, right? This total cook, 10 hours plus the time in the oven, so let's call it 11 and a half hours, right at 12 hours, right? So again, easy in the fact that it doesn't take much. You guys did not see me doing any trimming off this, and I actually like that. You save time. The longest portion of this particular cook is waiting. Right now, I rested it in my warm oven. With pork, most pork butts, you don't have to do that. You can actually tear in as soon as you pull it off. I would highly recommend you get 15, 20, 30 minutes. But this is not like a brisket. This is not like any other cut of meat. You can eat this as soon as it's done. Other than that, I'm going to go off of one end and pull some meat off, because this is what I'm going to be using for a sandwich. I want you guys to see. So that's that fat cap. Alright, so let's get in here. It's tender. Oh yeah, and it's still juicy. We're gonna get in here. I like that fat. I don't pull that fat out. I don't. You might find other people and other people on their channels who do. I don't knock it. Now, if I'm serving to a large audience, I will go through and pull some of those big globules of fat out. I like that. I think it adds moisture. I think it adds moisture to the overall product, especially if we're going to be putting it on some dry bread. All right? Look at those tubes, those tubulars. This is tender, right? You still see that steam coming off there? Let's get a bite. It's absolutely delicious. It's tender, it's smoky, but not overly smoky. You think for smoking something for 10 hours, well, you know, just say 7 hours because we're wrapped, you would think this would be overly smoky. I get hints of that cherry wood. I also get hints of the hickory. And I also get hints of oak. I like it. Could use a bit more salt. However, again, forgiving with pork butt is that once I pull off what I'm going to use, I can go back and resalt it. Right? I'm going to leave this whole besides what I'm going to eat tonight. I'll see you guys for the next video. Stay tuned. How do you guys like pork butt? How do you guys like cooking your pork butt? Is there anything that I did that you do differently? Let me know down in the comments. I look forward to your engagement. Until next time, B Smokehouse out.